My first 7 rehabs were in Florida, and then a couple places in Pennsylvania, and now a couple places in New Jersey. Now that I don't have health insurance, I'm very limited to the places I can go.
You were able to get into this program, but only for 3 days.
Yes.
And do you think it'll help you?
I think I have a good chance to stay sober because I'm not physically addicted right now. But of course, my mental state is, a lot of my thoughts are centered and revolve around music.
Right. Do you have a plan for staying sober going forward? Well, first of all, did you go in any groups?
I went to one group.
Just one group?
Yeah.
Did you get to talk?
No, actually I didn't want to share.
Okay. I think if you don't have a really strong plan and supports and so on and all that stuff in place, then there's just nothing to keep you from using, because it's what you know. It's not only a physical addiction, It's like, I think you get to a point where it's like, what else am I going to do? What else is there to do? And you've got these pathways set up where they're pathways that you know. They've been worn so well. Where like for me, well, what's your drug of choice?
Proceed straight on Hallsville Road using the upcoming middle lane.
So if I said I really feel like I want to get high, I want to use heroin, I don't have a clue where to get it from. I would have to be like, I'm going to sit outside a recovery program and just start asking around. Maybe I'll go to Newark and start asking around. But I really don't know anybody. So it's not that easy for me to do it,
What's sad is a couple of weeks ago, I was with a buddy of mine, and all he does is smoke weed. And he wanted me to find him some weed. And, I couldn't find him any. But yet, I had 10 people, and there was people on the street that were offering us heroin, and I couldn't even find him a little baggie of weed. Isn't that sad? That heroin has become more available and more accessible in the city than anything.
When you say the city, you mean Trenton?
Trenton, yes.
Okay.
But most cities, Trenton, Kensington. I spent a lot of time out in Kensington and Philly. That's a bad spot. Camden. I was in and out of there for a couple of years.
Well, I know they say you've got to change your people, places, and things. Have you thought about moving out of Trenton?
I moved all around. Like I said, I moved to Florida. And when I had those urges, or if I wanted to use and I put my mind to it, I was high within a day. And, so wherever I go, I take me with me. I take Ben with me wherever I go. So that only helps so much.
What do you think about calling America's Catholic? And at least getting on a waiting list for their...
Yeah, I'll definitely call them and check them out.
So what are the programs like in Florida?
Called PHP, partial hospitalization. That's just the way that how they bill your insurance. So I would do a detox for 5 to 7 days, step down to residential care for as long as my insurance would allow, and then to PHP, which involves the same thing. You wake up in the morning, you eat, you're usually in a 2-bedroom apartment, so 4 guys total, 2 men in each room. And it might be an office. One of the apartments they rent out would be an office if they have their own suite, They'll transport you in vans to a center where you'll have groups from, say, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And, so you'll have hour-long groups throughout the day. And maybe you'll see your therapist twice a week. And they'll break you down into different groups, and then men and women's groups a couple times a week.
And how many times have you been in these?
And I've been in a total of 20 detoxes probably, and about 10 rehabs. So which means 10 times I did a detox and rehab, and then a lot of times I'll just detox and go home, like this time.
So sometimes you do just detox and then go right home?
Yes.
What kind of insurance did you have in Florida?
So up until I turned 26 in April of this year. So up until then I was always covered by my parents. So I had Aetna through my father. And then as of April 30th, well, as of May 1st, I don't have insurance anymore, so.
Yeah, I guess I've kind of come to the conclusion there's not really anything other than God that can, as your higher power. I don't know if that means that you have to say I'm powerless, according to AA you do. But, that and believing that a sober life is worth living for, when you've stayed sober, what is it that keeps you sober?
A few times AA and working the steps.
Okay, so going to AA helped. Do you have a program that you can go to, like tonight, for example?
So there's meeting halls, a few of them interned.
Oh, there should be a lot, I would think.
Tons of meetings.
So can you envision a life where you're going to meetings every night?
Yes.
And what do they say, 90 meetings in 90 days, right? So that would probably be the only alternative to getting high.
Yes, honestly, this time my plan is to get on maintenance.
Okay, what's maintenance?
So long-term Suboxone or Subutex, which is used to detox, but can also be used for long-term as an alternative to drugs, opiates. The most commonly used maintenance probably is methadone.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking into right now.
Okay.
I have experience with all of them, actually, methadone, Suboxone, and Subutex, all in the past. And I also have experience 7 months on what's called Vivitrol. Vivitrol shot is an opiate blocker, and it lasts for 30 days. So basically, it's an intramuscular needle, and they give you the medicine, and it's a complete blocker. So for 30 days, even if I were to do an opiate, you can't feel it. And I've put it to the test, and it works. No matter what drugs you do, it's a blocker, and which helps your mental state. Saying, no, I can't get high, so let me work on my family, get my job back in order, get my life back in order. And I did that for 7 months until I missed the shot and wound up relapsed. And now that I don't have insurance, that $1,200 shot is pretty hard to come by. There are programs that help you get it without insurance, but like I said, it's over $1,000.
Sounds like there's not always an easy solution, and when you do find the solutions, they're kind of short term. Like even the Vivitrol shot.
Month to month.
You can't just keep taking shots forever.
That's true.
Have you ever envisioned what your life would look like as a sober person? Like, do you think that that's something you can plan toward?
When my son was born, actually, in Florida, I had a couple months off of drugs, off of heroin in particular. And I was working 2 jobs, and I had an apartment, and I was with my girlfriend of 6 years at the time. And life was great, and I was a dad, and I was a good son, and a good brother, and a good boyfriend. And so yeah, I can envision my life sober. It was beautiful, but honestly, I was still miserable. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't praying.
So it's like being a dry drunk.
I was a dry drunk. They call it white knuckling it in the rooms.
Okay.
I was just white knuckling it. I started smoking weed, and then I was taking pills here and there because there was a lot of pressure too. And honestly, I just had a lot of pressure on me, and with a newborn at home and no family to help out, and every day was a pity party for me. I threw myself a pity party, and I wound up picking up again because I thought it would help with my emotions.
Right.
Which it does. It blocks everything out. Heroin does what heroin it's good at what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I've taken pain pills from the dentist, and the thing that I've struggled with is alcohol because it's so easy to get, and it's legal. So, like, if I want to drink tonight, I can. The only thing to keep me from it is myself saying I don't want to do that. I have too many important things to do that I can't do when I'm drunk, when I'm intoxicated. So, that's the only thing really keeping me.
And I lie to myself and I say, yeah, I do have important things going on, and if I pick up, I'm probably going to lose everything. But I'll lie to myself and say, well, it's okay, I'm only going to use this once. It's only going to cost me $10. I'm not going to OD and die. My family won't know. It's going to be okay. I'm just going to use just this once or just this weekend.
Maybe if you start telling yourself the truth, and that I've heard somebody say play out the tape. So, like, for me, if I have even just one beer, when I wake up in the morning and I know that I drank last night, even if it was just a little bit, I do not feel good. And I want to feel good. I want to feel like my life is under my control. So, like, if you play out the full tape for yourself, what would it actually look like? Like, if you use once, it's not just once, is it? It's a pattern, and I think that might help if you say, okay, if I even just try it, it's downhill from there, because it's like it has a mind of its own. It's got like a thing of its own that you just lock into, and I think the drug lies to you, And if you believe in the devil lies to you, And the Bible says that he roams about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour and destroy. So, that's where the Bible plays a part. If you get to know the Bible, then that brings a whole new light to it all. You really have to, I think, get to the point where you believe you have value. You have to believe you're worth something. Otherwise, and I got to that point. It's like, why go on living then? And if I am living, why live sober? What is going to cause me to make a decision to pick a higher life and a higher lifestyle unless I know that I'm valued by God? Because I value me, well, I kind of did, and I don't. But with God, I do value me because God values me. And then I go to church and I find out that I'm able to start a nursing home ministry and help other people to serve God and sing music for senior citizens. And now I know I'm being used by God, so I have no question that I'm valuable. But even without being used by God, just being known by Him, you have value. But I think it's easier to see that when you're actually serving in church somewhere. But have you ever been involved in a church at all?
I grew up in church, in a Catholic church, and so I went to church every Sunday growing up.
Do you feel like if you got on a waiting list at like a faith-based program, at least that would give you some hope to help you kind of move in the right direction?
But people live at the facility?
Yeah, once you get in, I think you'll be there for like 6 weeks. And it might be kind of strict, but it's fair. But I think they just make sure that, for example, that you want to quit, that you're not going to bring drugs into the facility, that sort of thing. But if you take the initiative and call them, that's what they're looking for. Like, I can't call them and say I have this friend or my brother. It has to be you that takes the initiative. So I know that much. But there's high demand, so it's a really popular place. But I think you'll probably get better results than like a secular program. You said you went to a Catholic church.
I went to Catholic school until 8th grade.
I don't follow the Catholic Church. I don't think they follow the Bible. I was reading something today that said that they're based on works also, as well as faith. But the Bible's really just about faith. And it's once you know God, you're going to heaven no matter what you do. So that helps, because then God's a part of your life and you're not just by yourself, you know. And you don't have to say, you know, oh, I messed up, so I lost my good standing with God. Because your good standing was achieved by Jesus, by the work that He did. And as a child that's been adopted into His family, you're going to receive all the benefits of His righteousness, if that makes sense. I was actually just reading about that today. But, I mean, you're using something so heavy like that could kill you, that's obviously bigger than if I drink a couple beers. But other than it having like a physical effect on you, it's kind of the same thing. You can say, well, I've decided I shouldn't drink, and I know I shouldn't, but if I do, I can always come back. I can always say, darn, I messed up, Lord, please forgive me. And because of that, there's a scripture that says it's His kindness that leads us to repentance. So He understands everything, and He's able to forgive everything. So the tape died, so you didn't catch this part. After the tape, Ben said that he was having a friend come and pick him up, and that friend was using. And if you've been around people or been in any kind of program or whatever, you don't want to put someone who's trying to quit using with someone who is using currently. So you know he's coming close to something that he shouldn't come close to if he's trying to quit. Well, he said he felt really bad about it because the last time he used with his friend overdosed, and he had to give him CPR. And he was explaining how like his mouth got stiff and everything, and it was really scary for him. He thought he was going to lose him. And you know, I feel kind of bad because I was like, oh wow, I should have got that on tape. And then later I thought, what am I thinking, you know? And he said he's going to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you know, he gave me some tips, and he said that he's followed people at 100 and they ended up being in the thousands of subscribers. And the thing is that he might not make it through the night. He might not be around to even like the YouTube channel. So like, what's really important here is a YouTube channel. It doesn't even matter, you know. But this is what is happening is people, I just picked him up from a recovery program. And he was only there for 3 days. That's not going to do anybody any good. But that's all, without insurance, that's all he could stay for. So now that he doesn't have insurance because he's not on his parents' insurance anymore, he can't go to a recovery program. I told him about America's Keswick. He's a Christian. He has to call, though. He has to make the call. But he's been in programs like 20 times. And the thing is that these recovery programs, people keep going in and they're recycling people, and they're going in over and over and over again until they die. That's what's happening. Because these programs, I've been through them as an intern. I tried to intern for a year. And basically I just ended up helping out with groups, but I learned a lot. Not enough, but you know, a lot. And the programs are crazy bad. They just, maybe they just don't have the answers. Maybe it's people who need help trying to help other people who need help. There's very few programs. I would think that it's probably only the faith-based programs. AA sees some good results. People will stay sober for a really long time by trusting in their higher power. So that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to let that go. I pray for this person. I believe God goes after and gets everyone that He's after, and He doesn't lose a single one. And I know when someone is really interested and is really going after God. I can tell. And this is what I believe. I'm not going to go after God more than he's going to go after me, because who's the strong one? God is the strong one. God is going after. If someone's just saying, hey, I'm kind of interested in that, God, well, you better believe that God is interested in them too. You know, he's that great. He's that big. He's that awesome. He is bigger than our foolishness. He is bigger than our addictions. He is bigger than the worst problem that we face. And if my new friend Ben doesn't make it, God's bigger than that. And I believe with all my heart that this man's going to heaven. And we all have short lives. You know, people who have short lives. We all have short lives.